what do you do if the main problem is something they didn't get? They never were loved. They were never held. They were never comforted. They had parents who maybe were traumatized by war. Maybe parents never got that from their parents. Maybe they were, severe neglect. There's all these things, but what's predominant is the absence of. Okay. So the other element of EMDR that I really emphasize is what we call resource tapping. In standard EMDR, they're calling it resource installation. It's a term I don't like because it's really not explaining what it is. So what resource tapping or resource installation is the use of imagination to light up resources that are within you. So a typical one is the peaceful place. Can you imagine a place that's peaceful and calm where you can feel relaxed? Standard EMDR, they call it the safe place. I found that safe is a very triggering word for somebody who's not been safe. And so standard EMDR, they're telling people, oh, you can't do it if they can't find a safe place. My experience is nonsense. We just have to find imagery that will calm the nervous system down without the word safe, because immediately people think, oh, unsafe. There isn't safety in the world, right? So let's say it's a beautiful mountain lake and they feel really calm and they, feel good. And then we add short amount of bilateral stimulation. So with the resources, what we're doing is we're looking for imagery that will calm the nervous system down, or it will provide us what we need. So if it's peacefulness, we look for imagery that represents that we activate it. So when you imagine something, it's lighting up neural networks in the nervous system. And then we add a short amount of bilateral stimulation. It links it up. So I think about light it up and then link it up. So light up the resource you're wanting. So in what I call attachment-focused EMDR, we use 4 foundational resources before we work with anybody. Peaceful place, nurturing figures. These are figures, real or imaginary, that have a nurturing quality. They're kind, they're caring, they're loving. It can be someone they know. It can be someone from a movie or a book. It can be a spiritual figure. It can be an animal. Many people who've had significant trauma will pick an animal, a mother bear, for example. So then we have we make a list of these figures, a nurturing figure, and then when you have it well imagined and you can feel the quality, then we tap. And we'll say 6 to 12, right, left, or keep going as long as it feels positive, only positive. If it should shift into negative, like they're starting to process into the trauma, we stop right away and we go back to the fully positive. So then we have protector figures. These are figures, real or imaginary, that have a protective quality, that will defend you, that will protect you. And it could be an animal like a tiger. It could be somebody they know in their life. It could be, from a movie, a lot of these superheroes. And then they imagine the figure, they feel the quality inside themselves, and then they tap to link it up and strengthen it. And then the last one of the 4 is the wise figure, a figure that represents wisdom. It could be a spiritual figure, it could be a wise figure, and it could be more than one. And then we tap that one in. So this is our team. You want to imagine them as a team. So they have a team. So for what I call attachment-focused EMDR, we emphasize the resourcing before we do any trauma processing. So we're creating a sense of safety before we go in. So kind of going back to this idea of what's missing. So for somebody who's never had loving parents, what we need to do is create them in imagination. Create an ideal mother, the mother you wish you had. She's kind, she's caring, she's nurturing. And then they'll create her, imagine her, and tap her in. And then we can create whatever they need to redo their development. They need a loving family. They need a family who'll accept them for who they are. If they happen to be gay and they've had all this rejection in the family, we're going to create maybe 2 dads. Maybe you get 2 dads, who are cool and, they'll help you get through school. So whatever they need, we're going to create that in imagination so they get a good felt sense of it. And then through imagination and bilateral stimulation, fill in what they need. So this is with attachment-focused EMDR. We have 5 basic principles. So we create safety. We've got to make sure they've got good safety, which includes the resourcing. It's client-centered. So whatever we do, we're tailoring it to the needs of the individual. The therapeutic relationship is foundational. So we're not like, okay, you do this 1, 2, 3, it's 6 sessions and you're better. For anybody who's had early childhood traumas or doesn't feel safe with a stranger, we're going to really take the time to create a therapeutic relationship so they feel cared for and connected to. And that's reparative in itself. And then we use this resourcing work that I've just described to create safety and to do the developmental repair. And then we modified the standard EMDR protocol. So the standard EMDR protocol was developed in the 1980s by Francine for her doctoral dissertation research. And it's been frozen since the 1980s. And there's been a need to evolve it. And so I've evolved it. And I just made simple changes where I got rid of a bunch of the numbers and scales. I simplified it. I streamlined it. It still has the same structure because I really like the basic structure of it. So you're not just free associating all over. You come back, you finish something. The therapist is out of the way, trusting the wisdom within the client. So, but I've streamlined it. I've made it much more client-centered. So that's what I call attachment-focused EMDR.